Hello everyone and welcome to the Waffle Flower channel. It's Shannon here and I'm so excited to be with you here today showcasing a new stamp set from our spring 2017 release. This stamp set is called Stitched Cacti. It is a cross-stitch layering stamp set. It was illustrated by the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery and this stamp set is so cute. You guys are just gonna die. Okay, so this is the first layer of these two cacti. I just inked up in green. I will ink it up a couple times just to make sure it's nice and bold. I really want a lot of contrast for between my first and second layer, which I'll get to in just a minute here. The great thing about these two cacti is that you can stack them and you can create whatever size cactus you want. So it's really awesome. Okay, so right now I'm demonstrating how I layer or how I position the second stamp for this cactus. So I use the acetate that your stamps come on. I just removed all the stamps and now I'm positioning it in the exact spot that my second layer should go. And once I got it there, I put my stamp right over those printed cross stitches that are on the acetate and then pick my stamp up with my MISTI. I'll do it again here on this smaller cactus. I'm going to use the acetate again. So again, this is the acetate that your stamps come on. I just removed all my stamps. I'm positioning in that negative space. And once I get all those cross stitches lined up, I will take my stamp and put it directly on top, lining up my stamp with those printed cross stitch marks that are on the acetate. It's very easy to do. That stamp, when it gets into the right spot, all those cross stitches, those printed cross stitches on the acetate, they just get very bold. It's surprisingly very easy to do. This tip for positioning your layering stamp set is one that I will use for years to come. I just love using the acetate to help me position my stamps. It's just so helpful. Okay, so I just inked up that second layer in a lighter shade and then stamped it. And I also jumped ahead and did the upper cactus as well, the same way. So the set also comes with a cute little pot, so you can put your cacti in a little pot, which is darling, and a little bloom. You can see I stamped it in pink. I think I'll stamp it one more time here just to kind of make it bolder, but a little cactus bloom, which is awesome too. And a heart. So what I'm going to do on this heart is I'm going to show you my favorite technique to do with this stamp set. So I stamp the heart all in a shade of red, and then I get a darker shade of red and just partially ink that left side and then stamp it again, and it creates that gradation, which is just awesome. It makes it pop. I just love doing that on these cross stitch stamps. Okay, so here's one of the sentiments that the stamp set comes with: hugs, a couple expressions, and a cross stitch border. I just stamped all that in black, and I'll stamp that border stamp again here on the other side of my panel. And now I'm going to move up to that top cactus and I'm going to stamp a little bird. So I just stamped his feet and beak, and now I'm going to stamp his body. He's so cute. And I'm also going to stamp his belly, partially ink up his belly in a darker shade and create that gradation just like I did on the heart. And that bird is almost done. We have his eye to do, but I'll do that in black and I'll do that later. There's 3 mountains that come with the stamp set too, and one of the mountains, the largest one, kind of you can stamp directly adjacent to the medium one, and it creates this for the sense of perspective and depth. So I thought that was a really cool, like, no masking. You don't have to do any masking to create that. So I thought that was nice. There's the other sentiment, howdy, and there's one more sentiment that I'll stamp here right above the hugs. Yay. And those are some great, very useful sentiments. The yay and the howdy could be used for birthday hugs, for thank you cards. Really versatile set here. Okay, so I'm now all my stamping is done. I'm going to trim that panel down, and I'm going to use these new dies. This is called the patched layer dies. It comes with several dies that will add this beautiful blanket stitch onto your panels. So I'm going to use this larger die here, and I am going to add that detail, that blanket stitch detail, to this panel that I just stamped. So I'm just going to position it here, center it over on my panel, and then I'll run it through my die cutting machine. Now the awesome thing about these new dies is that they actually cut the paper, as opposed to just doing like an emboss detail or a score line. But because they actually cut the paper, it's a very bold detail that you add. You can really see that blanket stitch, and I just love that. It really is. These dies are going to be so fun. So I just mounted that to my card base. This is an A2 card, and I also mounted my other panel from earlier onto a card base as well, also A2. And both those cards are done. And here are a couple examples of this cross-stitched cacti stamp set as well. So this stamp set and 3 other stitched stamp sets will be available March 9th. You guys don't want to miss it. They are awesome. Thank you for joining me today.